Okay, so I just got home not too long ago, and I was out and about, and I was actually coming out of Old Navy, and my aunt called my mom and told us that Michael Jackson had died. And at first, I was kind of thinking, like, this has to be a joke, so this can't be real, right? I just, I was like, what? And so I called my friend and let her know because she is like insanely in love with Michael Jackson. Like, she never even cared about, all the accusations of him being like a child molester and all that. Because honestly, I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, nobody really knows. Lawsuits happen. People sue people for the craziest things, and half the time they're not even true. So nobody really knows. And so I called my friend, and she went on the internet and, found out. And then it was on the radio, like, all the way home. And then I just came home and got on MySpace and looked at Matthew Lush's status. It said rest in peace Michael Jackson, and I was looking through all of his comments, and some of them were like, rest in peace Michael, we love you, we'll miss you. And then there were others that were like, woohoo, nobody cares, the molester's dead, yay, haha. I'm just like, really? How rude can you get? Just like, what if that was your family member and people were praising that? Like, if I could comment a comment on MySpace, I would in a heartbeat to every single one of those people that were praising it. What if that was your dad? What if that was your uncle, your grandfather, your brother? Think of those little kids. They just lost their dad. I mean, 3 kids lost their dad, and the world lost an insanely talented and inspirational artist. Granted, he may not have always made the best choices in his life, but he was a great artist, regardless of what anybody says about his personal life. He was a great singer, he was a great dancer, he was a great artist. And it blows my mind that people are praising this. I mean, for all we know, someone in your family could be a child molester. Somebody could, it's not like their family and their friends are perfect. I mean, okay, I bet you any money that half the people that are praising Michael Jackson's death have someone in their life that are insanely corrupt and have problems going on, probably something similar to Michael Jackson. So why are you praising them when your life's not perfect? Nobody is perfect. And it's just, I don't even know. I was at a loss for words when I read all those comments. Like, really, grow up a little. I understand you guys might not like him. I understand some people, won't ever, like, change their mind that he was a child molester. But he's a human. What if you died? And what if people praised your death? I mean, how would you feel? How would your family feel? I can't comprehend how people can be so rude. I know that if I died and people were praising my death, I would hope that there would be people that cared about me enough to stand up. And, I'm not saying someone might comment me and be like, you didn't know him. I know I didn't know him, but still, you've got to think, you don't know what's true and what's not. You don't know what really happened. It could have been something little that the little kid blew way out of proportion and just kept going from that. You don't know anything. And you never will know anything because you don't know the Jacksons. You never will know the Jacksons. Well, my camera cut off because I'm blabbing a lot, but you'll never, like I said, there's probably a really good possibility you'll never know the Jacksons. So you'll never really know what happened. And some of these people, I don't think it's crossing their mind when they praise the death of Michael Jackson about those poor innocent little children. They just lost their dad, someone they spent a lot of time with in their short life. And they're never going to see him again. They're never going to be tucked in at night. They're never going to have him hug them. They're never going to have him kiss them. He's never going to he's never going to be at any school events they do, anything that's big in their life. Granted, he'll be looking down on them during their milestones, but it's not the same. When you're a little kid, it's not the same when you're hearing, oh, your dad is looking down on you. It's not the same. He's not sitting there in that seat. It's just not the same. So I think people, honestly, you may call me a bitch for saying this, but I think people are being very heartless and rude for saying these things. And I just hope that they realize what they're doing is wrong. And I would never hope to have someone that they are close to die. But if that ever were to happen, I hope that they look back on this and realize how wrong they were. Because if someone's praising their death of someone they're close to, I hope they look back and realize, oh, this must be how people felt when I was praising his death. And also, no one's really said anything about this, so I want to say this. Farrah Fawcett died today, too, one of the original Charlie's Angels. That's sad, too, but it's kind of... Michael Jackson is kind of overshadowing it in a way, I guess. I mean, not really, but a lot of people, all I've heard on the radio is Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. I haven't heard a thing about Farrah Fawcett. I saw one little thing on the news that said 1947 or something to 2009, and that was it. And so, just a little, may she rest in peace too. May both their souls rest in peace, Farrah Fawcett and Michael Jackson. And I really hope people realize that what they're doing and what they're saying is really wrong and really rude and really just, unacceptable. I don't know. I'm not going to get all religious about it because it's not my place, but, just think about what you're saying next time you want to open your mouth or use your fingers to type. Just think about what you're going to say and realize if something happened to me, would I want this said to me?